What is this name that we see on the screen? What is this access bars? What is the meaning of access and what is the meaning of the bars? And how did it come? What is the science behind it? Is there any evidence of healing? Is there any scientifically proven, understanding how this has happened? The basic question comes. So some of you might have heard about this, or maybe sometimes you may feel it is quite new. What is this in access and what does the meaning of a bar? Bar is about, is it a chocolate bar? Is it something in the form of a strip? What is the meaning of accessing it and how are accessing this data? So bars are nothing but there are 32 points on the head. There are different belief system that we carry across time and space, across any time and space that we carry, and then by frequently running this process, it's gently touching the head points. There are 32 points about different points of view about money, control, creativity, peace, calm, gratitude, so joy, healing, sadness, sexuality, creating connections, creating life forms, and we have points of view about everything, right? That's what is talking about it. And how do we clear this in a belief system? Now, sometimes some are known, some are not known. And as we all know, or we are aware of this, we have been, producing or, capturing about 60,000 thoughts in a day. And you'll be surprised, where are all these thoughts going? Do they still stay with us? They stay in the body. They convert into an emotion. They convert into a feeling. They convert into a body symptom as such. And we're not aware of. Not everything is getting deleted. Some of them are distorted. Some of them stay in the system. Some of them are form as a file or a belief system to stay inside of you. Like when you look at this presentation, when we look at it, there are some times, when you feel your life is stressful. Sometimes there could be a body which is hurting. And there could be tiredness. Sometimes you feel very depressed. Saying, I don't know why this is happening, how this is happening, but something in me making me feel sad, something in me making me stressful, something in me is, we don't know what it is hurting me physically. Or there could be a generic, what we call a tiredness also that keeps coming out, but you would not understand where this thing's coming out as such. When I talk about, the basic question, I'm going to ask you, all of you, a question about when was the last time that you ever felt, that last time that you felt you are relaxed and you felt non-judgment. Because we always keep judging ourselves, that we are not worked very hard, we have not done this, we have not done this, we have not achieved this, with the knots, NOT gets converted into the knots KNOT. Yes, we get bound here forever. And this is what we continue as a postulate or a belief system, and then go deeper into our own self, and then we don't know where to do, how to clear it, and we continue to move ahead with the same file that we keep continuing as such. And coming to this, access consciousness. What is consciousness and what is the bars? So it is basically you can call it as a treatment, a process where a practitioner gently, does touch the points on the head. When he's touching it on the head, there are different points with the blocks that are there, that basically what happens, you may be, if you talk about creativity or talk about money, sometimes you might have your own money blocks that stops you from receiving. And what are these blocks? These blocks are nothing but emotions, thoughts, beliefs, ideas, and various consideration that you were storing in any lifetime. We're not worried about what lifetime, but we keep considering all the judgments about this particular money issue. And this is a very gentle process. There is nothing, there's no chanting, there is no invocation of symbol, there is no, use of any other, set of music or channeling or, doing any sort of a thing. Gently, practitioner, what does he do? He touches the particular points on the head, and it helps you to release the blockages, which helps you to, which is now once the blockages are removed, you can see that you're able to receive the goodness about anything. And all these points contain all the thoughts. It can be about money, control, creativity, aging, including aging. What do we pursue about aging? I'm becoming this this particular age, becoming age A, B, C, a number, and we start having a point of view about it. So it's all about the judgment that we keep storing, doesn't allow you to be yourself, and that keep chattering. The mind keeps on talking non-stop, and they continue to do whatever has to be done. Like I said, I'm going to highlight this particular series of 32 points on the head, which is nothing but when there are points which are there is an around the head, there is the back of the head, there are points here which we call aging toaster, there is about something here in this case where you're gently touching them for a certain amount of time. A typical session will be about for 60 minutes, or it can sometimes run a little longer. And all the old energy that is stuck in the brain, because you remember that thought is in outside, and the brain which connects the electromagnetic frequency, electromagnetic signal from the thought to be converted into an emotion. And what does the emotion do? It transferring the information to the body, and body responds in a particular manner. Like I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel frustrated, I have a throat burn, I have so many things happening. So everything is the body responding it to all the emotion that your brain is able to transpond and move ahead. Like just to see this particular slide, this is the access bar, a chart, typical head chart. You see that there are so many words here. Like there is something to do with hopes and dreams. So what are the hopes and dreams that we have? Sometimes you may say, I hope something good happens to me, but I don't see it happening. I dreamt about these things, I'm not able to manifest it. I'm talking about form and structure. Now what form and structure that you want? Like we always think that the money has to come only working hard. This is once again a point of view. Or you need to say, no, I need to earn money only by working, or by doing consultation, by profession, by my inheritance from my family. So is it to do with the time and space? It could be about communication, that expression that we have. There can be points of view about money as an energy, awareness, control, creativity. So there are 32 points which are there at either side of the head, the front, there's the right and the left. And by doing this process, you will be able to release it and get it cleared. So now comes the question, can I do it myself? This process cannot be done by yourself. There are two ways of getting into this, either learning, which is very soon. There's a workshop coming up on 19th of March, wherein it's an international certification. During the time when there is teaching about how to run these bars, you'll also be able to run it for others. You will also be able to receive it. And you can also get a session done from a therapist, from a practitioner, to understand how this energy, does it create space. Now comes the question, okay, by touching these points, what is happening to me? Does it change my life? Does it, bring drastic changes about it? So what it does, it deletes all the files, all the crappy files about all these issues. Everything that you have, points of view that you have, it clears the belief system. It clears the, the thoughts behind it, the emotions behind it, the feelings behind it. As it keeps clear, it creates you a lot of space. It's like, you have a hall full of, a room full of a lot of boxes. And what it does, that you don't know what is to be done about that. Everything has got accumulated and you don't know where to keep, what to keep. So when you start removing them, you're clearing them, what is not required. So you're creating a space for a greater possibility. Access talks about possibilities. That's what they talk about. Everything is about a choice. That you have a choice every 10 seconds. Like you can choose with ease, joy and glory. The access mantra is about choosing with ease, joy and glory. How you can choose. Anything can be like, you go to a coffee shop and you look at the menu. Sometimes we are so stuck on to a choices. Like, I go and then I pick up a cappuccino. Maybe you don't even look at any other option or choices. When you connect to the body and then say, okay, now do I have to choose this? Yes, of course, maybe you have a frappe, you can have a latte, you can have a caramel, a chocolate, there's many options that are there. So access, helps you to create a space so that you don't get fixated to only one choice at a time. Access is be in the question, not in the answer. They're one of the very biggest, question that they talk about, what else is possible. When you're in a constant question of, what else is possible, you will be able to find multiple choices. You go to a mall, you go to a shopping complex, and then say, what else is possible? By being in this question, they say, okay, now I found a very interesting shop there. It's not about buying, it's about choosing, right? It's about choosing. I said, okay, I find a nice, beautiful jewelry store. I would like to see what it means. It is not necessary that you need to buy everything that you see, but it brings an awareness to you that yes, there is something greater that is available to me. But still, after going into the shop, you still have a choice. Have a look, come back. Yes, of course, you have a choice to even buy them. After buying them, wearing them. Even you can choose and just not wear them too. So every 10-second Access talks about choices. The choices gives you greater possibilities. Answers gives you restrictive movement. Once you choose, and that's it. That's the end of that journey. There won't be anything else happening as such. Now binding up to it, why the caption, how to use access bars for positive thought creation. When you delete all these files, when you're constantly deleting these files, there is a space created for something new. You may intend to change, a change in your career, maybe bring a new relationship for yourself, or do a hobby, or create something greater. You will be able to release the blocks, and also now you will be able to bring in all that is required for yourself. Like, what does access bars do? Like, we're talking about so much, and there are electrically stored information in the brain. There is the left side of the brain, which is called as the logical brain, which always keeps asking questions, which is about why, what, where, how, when. The constantly the brain is asking for answers. And the right side is all about feelings, emotions that are stored about every aspect of life. And when you're gently touching this, and all the crappy file that we carry about belief systems, about everything that you have, because we all carry, no, I can't make money, I can't make money, I can't make this, I can't make this, I can't, you're channeling that information so much to your brain, it is overwhelming. Sometimes you feel, nah, just holding my hand, I don't know what to do with this, my head. It feels I'm overwhelmed with everything that's happening, and then you feel, it's like, what's happening? I can't take this more. I have burnt out. I have stressed so much because there is no space for you to receive new information coming in. You might be missing out. Something new possibility comes and it jumps over and goes over. It's like defragging or defragmenting a computer. When once you do a defragment of the computer, you now see that it starts running smoother and better, and you are happy. More than anything, you are happy. It's like this, when there's something that goes out in the house, like a light, tripping away. And moment you go and switch it on, it's like that, you're getting so much of light, when so much of information is stored, it like feels like a dark. I don't know what am I doing. I don't know whether I'm not able to think. I'm not able to do things. I'm procrastinating my projects. I'm doing so much, all the things are there. When you run this bars done, it like flipping the circuit breaker, that suddenly so much of space is available for yourself. Otherwise, in the dark, we are going and banging your head to the wardrobe or to the wall, to the this one, or we're tripping and falling because there's so much that's going around which we are not aware of. We are in the darkness. And when you run, either running the bars or getting the bars done or learning and teaching this, will help you to bring more peace, more ease, joy, and glory in your life. And what is the science? There is also people say, okay, what is this? Is there a science behind it? There have been a lot of study which has been done, and of course, you can always Google for Dr. Jeffrey Funnin, who discusses this particular about. He did an electrical function of a brain, like what it does. He does a testing, and it's there on the YouTube. You can always check it out, Dr. Jeffrey Funnin, where talk about. You can just say Dr. Jeffrey Funnin, Thoughts Lab. I think his company name is Thoughts Lab. You can just look at what it does with that access bars. When you're taking the biomagnetic field information, biofeedback that it takes before and after the session at different frequencies, you can say something is getting released from the state. Slowly it's going from beta state to the relaxed theta waves. It's just a matter of 1 hour. Then right now we are speaking on the beta level, because I'm listening, I'm saying something, you're listening to something. You might be connecting to some other data about what you heard about it, or something else your brain is talking. No, maybe this is not contributional to me. This is once again a point of view. Or it could be that, I don't know what to do with this particular thing. I don't know what is access, what is bars. I don't understand anything. So the mind is picking up so much information, right? But after getting the bars run, it can help you to improve the memory. It can help you to receive a lot more information about it. And there's a scientific study wherein they have done the brain mapping, before and after the session, and they found astounding results in how by gently touching this in a particular point, how the brain is going into relax theta. And remember, theta is where we all would like to achieve, so that you can manifest what you would like to manifest, that will bring in new positive thoughts. We can change things which are not working for us, align them, throw them out, or delete those files. Also, then it also brings a lot of happiness. And this was just not from after many sessions. This study was just done with one single session. Just imagine with one particular session, if this can change from a beta frequency to an alpha wave, theta wave as such, how much possibility when you learn yourself, when you learn and get your bars done, how much greater possibility that you can bring in awareness to your body. The more you run, the more clearance. The more clearance you do, more choices. More choices, more space. More space, we are talking about possibilities. That you are not limiting yourself. Sometimes we all limit our own barriers of time, own understanding about it. Like, what can you expect? Or the next question come, will it be the same that every experience? So every bar session can be different because your thoughts are different in a particular moment. Maybe not what you're thinking right now can be different. What you think after 5 days could be different, or what you think after 1 month could be different. We don't know. The worst that can happen is like as if you're completely relaxed. It's a meditation sort of a thing, as if your brain has got a great massage. There's the worst thing that can happen to your brain, and the best thing that can happen, it can change your life. Because I'm not trying to boast just because I'm practicing, but I've seen the effects of this particular thing when I started learning and applying these tools. When I started learning, when I teach, when I receive the sessions, when I do sessions for others, I see a lot of things are changing in my space. Because I was limiting myself. I was limiting, with same thoughts, with same belief systems that I've come across from my different lifetimes. And some of the very common benefits that we look about is there's a lot of sense of peace and ease, and then you are not reacting to the situations. You are able to respond to the situation better. It will help you to improve your sleep, deep sleep quota, and you see you're more restful about it. And whatever was getting you upset before the session doesn't matter anymore. Could be anything. Frustration about a person, angry about a person, because all that association that you have with that emotion and the thought, you deleted it because it's already there on the surface, and you deleted it, released it, and then you cleared it. So that's what happens as such. So there can be, and the question comes, how long is the session? Like when you're running or learning things, a session can be as long as 60 minutes. And sometimes even if you say, no, I cannot run the session, I'm learned, I don't have so much of time, we are in a hurry, we are swapping sessions, even about 20-25 minute session will be excellent. Something that you're clearing, it's better than not clearing anything as such. So 60 minutes is an ideal session time. It can go even longer too. And now the question comes, what is it? Is it some sort of a channeling? Is it some sort of a what is the energy work? What is happening? Nothing. There's no energy work at all. You're just lying down, ideally a massage bed, or you can use a zero gravity chair. You can even run it while sitting on the sofa or a couch, but it's very comfortable with the body being rest, because the person receiving and the person doing also, they feel much more comfortable when running the bars and receiving the bars as such. And just one time that happens is that you don't use the watch, because it will come in the way of the frequencies and your watch may get damaged. That's what happens when your signals are being released. So much of energy that's being coming out as such. And now it comes out, how long this effect of it. Can I, running by one session, will it last forever? But of course, when you're running it down, effect becomes more dynamic. But you can start seeing the results in about 3 to 4 weeks of time, because your brain requires about 21 days to create a new neural pathway, that you're all aware of it, that to create a habit, to create a new path as such. And when you keep frequently running this bar, when you learned it, when you practice it along with other students or other participants, you can say, or even the own family members, when you learn and start doing it, so you're clearing so much of information that is not needed for you, and you're realizing it forever. It's not that, oh, will it come back to me? But even if the same kind of situations are there in your now and tomorrow, but you're not responding because you change the reaction, you change the way that you are thinking, change the way you are processing the information as such. But you can see a lot of changes will happen in the span of 2 to 3 weeks or maximum 4 weeks. And then the question comes up, how often should I run this bar? How often should I receive bars? It's entirely up to you. It's about choice. Access talks about choice. Does it feel good to run your bars every week? Does it feel good to run your bars every day? Does it feel good to run your bars once in a while? So everyone has their own, choices about it. Sometimes they say, why don't we run it every day, whole day? No, we don't need, because there is something, there is other things happening. But you can see by frequently running your bars at least once in a week, learning and receiving from somebody else. So, or if sometimes there is a cranky day, then you're too stressed of things. Like I've had a very traumatic week this week, and I was having so many things happening in my space, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm feeling lost out. I'm feeling burnt out. I've clocked 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day that I worked about. So then comes, the best thing is to come, get your bars run, and see that you clear it. And of course, there is any sort of a major shock or a trauma, PTSD especially, post-traumatic syndrome disorder, when you have something going around. So you can definitely, or change in the relationship status, changing things that are happening, relocation to new country, new place, new job. A lot of things are going around. So when you're into realignment, taking time for you to realign. So those are time when you can consider having your bars done as such. Now the question comes, is there any limitation? Who can benefit? Of course, anybody, everyone can benefit from the running the bars. Now the question comes, can you run the bars for the babies and children? Of course, you can run from as, like even for a birth, a child who could be few days old, could be few months old, few weeks old, because children receive unconditional, because there is no point of view that they have. Even if the point of view that they have, you're releasing it at that level. And now that because babies and children receive so rapid changes happen, and they run much faster. Children, you don't need a 60-minute session for a children. Actually, those who have parents and they have, in the step, how do they want to improve the child's memory? How do they want to, make the child much better, perform better? It can be anything. Can be sports, can be academics, can be art, anything that you want to run. And you can run your children's bars. You can run the bars, once in a week, and you see that, children are blooming much better. They're growing much better. And babies, of course, even fast. Maybe in 15 minutes, you can see that, things are changing for you. And can you run bars on, elderly people and also specially abled people? Yes, of course, you can run for them. They can receive it. Even people with ADD, ADHD, people with, autism, people with Asperger's, any sort of a thing that they have, there's no limitation in access. It just, as long as they are ready to share, receive it. The worst came, what could they say? Okay, now I'm feeling like a massage, I sleep. I just, relax, like a meditation where I'm feeling much better and much more comfortable as such. And next question comes, can you run bars on pregnant women? Of course, you can run the bars on pregnant women. Of course, you can check whether the pregnant woman can sit, lie down for 60 minutes without any difficulty. But of course, you can always check with the doctors. And there are certain benefits also, like if you're looking at it, they feel that there is a short and easy births, like going closer to the natural birthing. Many also have avoided getting into C-section. So there's certain benefits by running the bars. There you can see that there's a greater choice. The body is working much better. Body is choosing to be itself, and you can see it's something magical happening as such. And then the question comes, what I'm supposed to do when I'm getting my bars run. You can sleep. You can get the full benefit, when you're awake or without awake also. There's nothing right or wrong in the bars. Sometimes when I'm running the bars for clients, sometimes they just say, I want to relax. And then I can see them going into a deep theta level of sleep. But I'm running the bars, I'm clearing the energy, I'm clearing that, whatever the thoughts that they have about everything that they carry. And some people say, and I slept so deep, and I feel as if, they've come back after 10, 12 hours of deep sleep within a span of 60 minutes. Or sometimes we also do talking. We understand about so many things that they have about, verbal, we talk about verbal facilitation about, they may say, this is the money belief that I have. So we keep, clearing it about by certain statements, we keep clearing so that the brain is releasing those emotions as such. Now the question comes, okay, is the access bars available everywhere? Of course, right now closer to about 180 countries, you can see bars practitioners available all over the place. You can scream and shout when you become a practitioner. You can always look for people around. You can run it anywhere in the world. There's nothing that it limits your choices as such. It is there all over the place as such. And like I said, is it one time? Many times? It's a choice. Access is all about choices. And is there a question comes in? Can they find bars affecting or giving clarity on mental or psychological problems? Of course, we will see them. It will help them to reduce the medications and see them they're responding to the treatment much better. But it's good that there is no discontinuing of medication, but they have to check with the doctors to alter any drug usage, anything that they want to alter the dosage as such. It's better to check with them and then do. But still, they keep receiving much better, receiving and they're healing much better as such. And where the comes, who founded this, there's a guy who was the founder of Access Consciousness, is Gary Douglas. He's the founder of Access Consciousness in 1990. And when he was, he went to a massage therapist and they started telling he was getting channeled and he was getting into a channeling, and somebody told him to run this bars done from a massage therapist, and he started touching those points, telling him to touch certain points on the head. Initially, there was no manual, there was nothing that, which point is for what purpose and things like that. Over a period of time, then he started thinking, okay, this point is for the particular money control creativity, and then they started releasing it. And they frequently, they now it started off as a movement in US, and now we can see people choosing it across the globe. You can see them practicing it everywhere. You can see it's the most widely practiced modality right now. And then what are the long-term effects? So will it stay with us as you keep practicing and experiencing bars regularly? You can see that your life becomes easy and better, because I think we all wish and we all want that our lives have become easy, effortless, and it's better and better as such. And the question comes, can the bars harm anyone? How do the bars work? There's nothing that can go wrong in a bars. And you may say, like, can I touch the exact point? Because when you start calling it out in the practice, when you learn this, when you're doing the session and you learn that by calling the particular name, your hands go automatically to the skull. You may have a tiny skull that you're running, or you may have a large skull or the baby skull which is there. So your hands are nice, beautifully designed as if to run the bar. When you learn, and it will be so nice and it feels, oh, it's so effortless, it's so easy. So anyone, it doesn't do any harm to anybody. It helps people. And is there any limitation? Now, is there any disclaimer that somebody should not get the bars done? Of course, those who are not willing to run their bars, those who are not interested in trying it out, they are the ones who are the limitation for themselves. Otherwise, everyone can choose, everyone uh, can benefit from this. So there, of course, there are many, changes that we have been seeing people, reversing chronic ailments like, diabetes, problems in everywhere. But some of the things, very prominent if you look at it, is scoliosis, which is beautiful, a change in the height actually. And, where there was pigeon toes, we're talking about pigeon toes, doctors were recommending for surgery. They could see a lot of, relief from that. And also people have been using, of course, there are very difficult, incurable disease like, cancer, arthritis, chronic fatigue, depression, bipolar disorder, and disappearance. You can see that, by applying these tools, applying the access bars, you can choose that, they're in more with ease. The body becomes much more easier. They're able to receive any sort of a medical support, in much better way, and then you can see them healing much quicker as such. And the next question comes, there is nothing what to expect. Bar sessions, in every session is different, and there's no way to predict what exactly happens as such. There's nothing that, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen as such. So when you're running the bars, it's just clearing. Like I told you in the beginning, the worst thing is like, you feel that you had a great massage and a great sleep. The best that can happen is your whole life can change forever as such. And sometimes the question comes, oh, how many bar sessions that are required for the particular discomfort or the symptom that is going around as such. That, there's this always keeps producing. Our thoughts are like it's not linear. The access bar process is not linear, which means that any person can let go in one session, or sometimes he may take many sessions. It's once again a choice of that person that who's choosing it out as such. Sometimes you may go. Some people, clients may come. I just want to relax. I just want to delete my thoughts. Some people come with a specific issue, like saying that no, I have this particular problem. I have this particular emotion running inside of me. Can I work on that? So during that time, we do a verbal facilitation and digging deeper. Like we talk about keep talking, and keep digging deeper, and uncreating those blocks, and creating those negative thought, negative talking that goes around, and you keep, and that's why we have an interaction. We tell the clients who come, or when you're running the bars for others, when you're receiving the bars, there's a general thing, or I just want a relaxation. I need to feel like I'm in a meditative thing. I don't want to concentrate. I don't want to do any focus. Just allow the body to receive, and you can see magical things happening at out as such. Like, what should you, what should be a target of getting your bars done? Whenever you want to feel great, and you know that when you start practicing this beautiful modality, and then they're always, like I said, having an extra session when there's a difficult day, when the body wants very cranky as such. Now the question comes, there are so many modalities that we hear about, is it different from Reiki? Is it different from cranial circle work? Are these, acupuncture points as such? They may look similar because it's there on the head, but they're not the same, because they're different function about it. Because there it's about emotion, there's about feeling, there's about thoughts that are there as such. So, and we don't try to mix up any of the modalities in one session. Like if you're running a bars, you're running the bars. If you're running a Reiki session, is different altogether. So we're not trying to integrate any one of them. You use it independent of those things. And access bar session itself is comfortable to clear a lot of energy blocks that you carry it out as such. And question comes, how does it done? Are we going to lie down? Are we going to sit and things like that? Of course, lying down is not compulsory, but when you lie down, it helps the person receiving will be to a more relaxation process as such, because and also a comfort for the bars giver, because you cannot hold a person hold the top and things like that. When lying down flat is easy, comfortable, you can run it out. Or of course, if you find, no, I can't because I may have a breathing problem, or somebody is a pregnant lady, I can't lie down flat because I may get a pressure. You can use a recliner chair or a lawn chair, or we call it as a zero gravity recliner. Does also magical thing as said. And the do's and don'ts, there's nothing major with the do's and don'ts. We just don't allow the fingers to touch each other, because there is a short circuit, happening, when you try to touch it, because whatever is getting cleared, when you touch it, it's coming back to you as such. And there is no usage of music that is being used there. No music, because when you run the music, like for other modalities, I can see there are music being used, but in access there is no music being run, because more verbal process. We allow that to discharge the way it has to discharge it out as such. And what are the benefits? How does positive thought come into picture? When you release anxiety, when you release brain fog and clarity, you will be able to improve the focus and concentration and problem solving abilities, and your confidence goes up, self esteem improves, and then there's no conflict resolution. You are very clear, because focus has come. You are very, very clear. Sometimes you see the body is going through a lot of inflammation and swelling, so that will also help you to release and then help you out. And then you'll also see, by running the access bars, run very often, you can see that in insomnia and sleeping challenges that everyone is going through, as an improvement. It can also help you to align your love and relationships. You can see you are more in balance with your mood. You're not agitated. There are no imbalances. You are motivated. There is no procrastination. And any pain that you have in the body, you slowly start getting relief about it. You're deleting the sadness. You're releasing the stress and tension. And one of the other thing is, the access gives you control over your weight and obesity too. So there are such a beautiful things that are there. And now the forum is open for questions. Please feel free to ask me anything that you want to know about the access bars. What is the process? Is there anything that I need to know about? Feel free to ask me any questions that you feel
Hi, Jana. I just wanted to ask, is it more beneficial to verbalize during the session, or is it better to just relax? Like in my case,
Both are beneficial.
because it's pain relief in my case.
Yeah.
So in that kind of situation, if you're in physical pain, then is it better to talk about the emotions and bring them out, or is it better to just let the practitioner do their
Like,
healing?
yeah. So no, when I check in, I'll generally, I would have checked with the people who come whether you
Mm.
want to talk about. Like, what does the pain mean to you? Does the pain is causing you some sort of a emotion, right? This is feel sadness. When you talk
Mm.
about the sadness, and we are working on the sadness too, we are also working on the pain. You got extra benefits about it.
Yeah.
You are working on multiple levels because our brain is functioning with different files. It is running at different levels. So you are working at different levels. We don't know which level, but you're deleting at that. One is at the pain level, one is at the emotion level, one is at the belief system also.
Mm.
Whatever I do, I'm not able to release this pain.
Yeah.
Nowhere, no matter what I do, nothing is happening for me in my life. We all carry this belief system. We all carry it.
Yes.
So, and when you
Yeah.
do that, you are slowly clearing and creating a space for yourself.
And
Access
if
is about space.
Okay. And if somebody's like, I know you mentioned that within one session, you can't practice different modalities. Like if you're
Yeah.
doing Reiki, you cannot do access bars in the same one. But can you do it in different weeks? Like this week, if I do Reiki, next week I can do access bars.
Of
Is
course,
it
you can do
like
different
everything
energies.
is okay?
That is possible because you don't try to mix up the energies as such. You
But
don't try
but
to mix up.
across different weeks or
You can
that's
learn.
or different days, that's fine.
That's fine. You learn. You can teach for others within the family members because what greater choice, what a greater joy that you have the tool within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the practitioner will have more experience about saying
Yeah, of
that
course.
okay, verbal facilitation or all the thing that digging deeper. But in
Mm-hmm.
case when you have the tool, that's still in a clearing. You're clearing at
Mm.
certain point of time. And Aisha, for your question, I think Krutika is going to reply. Krutika, Aisha has got a thing.
1 minute,
Any,
I'll just check the chat.
do you see any difference from the first session? The me
Yeah,
talking
I definitely felt a lot lighter, and I think I found um, the trigger points and the things that were deep inside that were the source of the pain, I guess.
yeah, source of the pain. Where it started
Yeah,
off. Where it started
right.
off.
Yeah, and because you have to trace it back from where it started, and I was chatting with Jana about that, and um, it the verbalizing helps definitely, because then you can really try to find out what or who or which situation or place or was the cause of the
The
in
root
my
cause.
case
Basically, the root,
yeah,
yeah.
in
Basically,
my
the root.
case it's yeah, I mean for her to know, in my case it's physical pain. So yeah, definitely I felt a difference. I felt a lot lighter, and I felt I have some direction, like, okay, so this is where it started from. And in fact, after this today's session, I am thinking maybe we can mix it up. Sometimes I can do Reiki with you, maybe next week I can try another access bars one, because I all the slides that you put, physical ailments definitely, like chronic illnesses can be healed by it, right? So yeah, definitely I felt lighter, I felt in a better mood, I felt very relaxed. And I found the sources of, or the causes of some of the pain. Yeah.
I sure hope we have been able to answer, and I've you heard from the person who received the access bar session. Because for me, this access is a very dear subject. I can go on and on forever. But when you listen to a person who received it, I think it's very contributional to every one of us. Thank you, Kritika, for this wonderful thing. And Farah, anything you'd like to add, Farah? But you were unmuting earlier. Sorry. Farah, are you there? Anybody else has any questions? Like, there are two different possibilities. Either you can learn to yourself, which is coming up on the 19th of March, is an international certification. So it's happening at Illuminations JLT Center. So it's an entire day's program from morning 10 to 6. And still, you still want to understand, whether, oh, how does it feel? Okay, I have heard about it. I need to see and experience. Please get in touch with my front office desk. They'll book a consultation with me for half an hour to understand what is this all about. And during that time, I can also give you a short experiential session, so we can Farah, the international certification is for 1 day. It is an international thing. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. It goes up to 6, wherein there is a video that we show. We talk about the points and I teach you there. And you will be receiving 2 sessions and you will be gifting 2 sessions. In Access, we talk about 2 receiving and 2 session. And at the end of the day, you learned it, and then your information is uploaded on the Access website across, and you will be certified as the Access practitioner, wherein now you can start practicing for your own self, for the family members, and it's going to be amazing. And I tell you, the worst thing that you can feel is, okay, like running a whole day of massage. The best thing that you can change your life forever. And trust me on this, because I've been practicing different modalities, close to about 28 modalities, and the certain modalities which are very dear to me, which are very contributional, and one of them is basically Access bars. And I've seen bringing a lot of change for the people, a lot of transformation that happens as such. Thank you for all of you joining in, and hope yeah, let me yeah, that's lovely that to see that people have chosen, Farah. That's a nice thing that within your family people have chosen, and then I definitely appreciate that they've chosen, and then they've brought in those changes. They brought in that transformation within themselves, and also trying to bring the transformation outside of them, motivating other people as well. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you for that lovely share as such.
Yeah, Jana,
Any,
I have one more question.
yes, please, Sri, please go ahead.
So, when you meet a client, how do you determine on that particular day, depending on what condition they have, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever they have come to you for, how do you determine which would be most effective for them, whether it's Reiki, or will access bars be the most effective for, at that particular phase of their condition?
See, right now, what happens, we know that, when there is a cranky things happening in the thing, there are too many things, I'm lost.
Yeah.
When they come with a lost feeling, lost sense, then we know that, okay, their overwhelming emotions, overwhelming, thoughts, belief system that they have, they're literally stuck in that. They're literally stuck in that. And by
Mm.
releasing it, then we immediately see that in a span of 60 minutes, oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. That's the clarity that they get. Otherwise, they're clogged up. Everything is going around, chatter is going around non-stop, and within that, and if they say no, only I just want a nice relaxation or a calming effect on my thing. Of course, there are other healing modalities that are there as such. Farah, do I contact? Yes, you can contact, or you can leave your email address. So somebody will call you, get in touch with you, or let me know. You can contact in RJ, or you can contact Ina, and they'll give all the details. And like I said, it is happening on the 19th of March. In case you would like to meet me and then want to have a consultation and also want to see how it happens, please free to come over. I'll tell somebody to get in touch with you, Farah. I'll tell somebody to get in touch with you. Okay, thank you for this
Sorry,
wonderful.
Jana, one more thing, sorry. Uh,
Welcome.
the one that you're doing day after tomorrow, which is I think a couple of days later, the gonging one, right?
Yeah.
I had a couple of questions about that. Can I ask that here, or should I do that separately on WhatsApp?
No, you can ask me, no problem. Ask me if there can be contribution for everybody. Nothing to worry about it.
I mean, because I know it's not related to this at all.
It's okay, it's a question. It's access, there is no stoppage.
So that one, could you just explain like a few lines about what is going to happen in that one?
Say, like, we're talking about inner child healing, right? Inner child healing
Yeah. Yes.
meditation. So when you're connecting you to it, there are various emotions that are there across our current life, starting from a birth to the day, just 2 days back. And it's all called inner children, or we are own parts. So when you do a guided meditation, what is happening is you're connecting those parts which are in sadness, which are in certain way of emotion, they're stuck in time. So when you heal them, you're able to bring back because your own parts, right? You lost some of it in a space, in a time and space, and you're bringing them, integrating them, so you'll be able to be feel wholesome. The inner child healing is all about feeling wholesome.
Mhm. And gonging, as in you'll be using
Yeah,
the
yeah,
gong.
gongs and the meditations, and then there is a use of a voice guided space. So you are basically using it to expand all those activities.
Is there any use of, I mean, my usual question, is there any use of incense or sage or any of these
When you
things?
talk about it, there are most of the meditations we know because when you set the intent in, of course, the candles are one of them that the people are using it. So
Mhm.
that of course candles will be, of course, will be there. You can always there see that use of candles, but
Candles are fine, but like the agarbatti
not everything is there won't be any instance for everything as such, not necessary.
for this particular one, for inner child healing and
Nothing,
gonging,
nothing, 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 nothing.
it'll just be the tea lit candles like you did in
Yeah,
your house that day, like that only.
yeah, yeah,
And the gong and the crystals and that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. There's a contribution to that space as such.
Okay, and this one is a group one, right?
That's a group activity. Those are the group activities as such.
Okay. No, before signing up for it, I just wanted to ask because
Take
obviously
your
my
time. I told you access is all about choice that we say. You can take your time till you can always walk in.
access bars, so definitely I want to do that one. I think in my
And
next
even for
time.
any other things, say access says it's about choices. What's the
Mhm.
beauty about it? It says everything is a choice.
Yeah,
That particular day when you feel like, okay, now I need to get a healing done, I need this meditation, it's all about choices.
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think sometimes we are intuitive also, as in
you
we
feel it
feel,
can be a contribution to you, right? It feels it's a contribution to you. That's the
yeah,
best
and
part.
you feel like today I need to do this or
Yeah,
today I
that's
need to,
the
yeah,
body
some.
knows. The body knows. The body knows. That's the ultimate thing is about body being aware of all these things as such.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great evening. See you. Bye
You
bye.
too. Thanks, Jana. Bye.